Today, we're going to be looking at Stoicism with Spirit of Hoarfrost and Horn. Real quick, I'm going to show you all my mods. And then over here, I'm running Queenbreaker, Unworthy with Firefly Rolling Storm, and Scatter Signal with Overflow Controlled Burst. And then over here on the subclass, we're going to do Twilight Arsenal, just so I have a little bit of range, because I'm already trying to keep myself a certain distance away. I have Rally Barricade, just so I can use the class ability better. Even though Thruster's decent with this too, I genuinely think Rally Barricade is better. I use Shield Throw to keep myself at the same distance. Over here, Thermite Grenade, so I can also double stack the Scorch stack, so I instantly ignite someone. I have Knockout for the melee healing. I have Diamond Lance to also really lean into the Stasis, because I have Stasis and Solar. I'm running Facet of Ruin. Over here, Facet of Balance to get both my energies. Over here, Facet of Hope, so I can get my class ability even faster. Facet of Purpose, so I pick up Void Overshield from all my, all my orb pickups. And over here I run Facet of Protection, because I'm usually in a distance with an enemies, especially with the barricade with where I'm trying to space myself. But yeah, since I have Hoarfrost and I have Solar on my barricade cast, I should be getting tons of Prismatic energy. And then when I go Prismatic, I'm just spamming abilities, still keeping my distance and letting my weapons do a decent amount of the work. This weapon's going to help me get my Rolling Storm up. Alright, so for the rest of this video, I'm going to be going through the Expert Nether. And we're just going to be testing out the build. We're going to be seeing how it's going. It ends up performing much better than even I expected. That's because I've already been playing with this build a little bit. And it is so good, guys. It is ridiculously good. And there are very few changes that I would recommend over what I did. Diamond Lances are still really strong and do fill in that gap between what you're doing. And they do allow you to directly take down stuff like the Grim. But also, I'm not going to lie to you, the benefit of also having Consecration is insane. Consecration with this build really lets you lean into that Solar Explosion, Stasis Explosion feeling. You can probably switch your grenade to Ice Walls, especially if you do run Consecration, really lean into that Solar Stasis Explosion. That's why I love this build. There's so many different ways you could do it, and none of them are really wrong. This one I play is a lot more passive and maybe a little bit better for these higher content things, where I can use the Diamond Lance to set up to go in somewhere, or I can use the Diamond Lance to freeze something and then go up to it and just do a regular punch of them out of abilities. The Shield Throw allows me to get a little bit of Overshield. And again, you can even do stuff like switch the Super if you want to switch to Thunder Crash, because Thunder Crash is a monster right now. Then you don't have to run Facet of Purpose. Because if you're running a Bolt Charge weapon, then it doesn't matter, right? Because you're still building Bolt Charge. Again, there's so many different ways to run this. I tried out, not only did I try Knockout, Consecration, I also tried Knockout and Unbreakable, and then Unbreakable, Abeyant Leap. I think if you want to run the Abeyant Leap version, or sorry, the Dranger's Lash version, you have to have Spirit of Abeyant and Spirit of Horn. I'm going to try and get that video up soon if I ever do get the class item for that. And I have a feeling that version of the build is going to be a lot better with Thruster if you do get Abeyant and not just Abeyant and Horn. So this build's great though. The Frost Horn build is absolutely crazy. I'm really just putting down a barricade and I'm deleting almost everything. It takes some decently hard content or a boss to survive all the stasis hitting it, and then I'm getting sunspots on Prismatic. I don't think people understand how insane that is to have. You have Restoration and Ability Regen on your class item. And it's insane, because it's also Scorching, and that little bit of Scorch does lead to those ignitions popping up. That is one thing I will say, is that Pure Solar has a much easier time with just Khepri's Horn to hit that instant ignition. But having it on Prismatic also allows it to where it does also do that. That's why I run those Thermite Grenades, so I can hit somebody with that and then throw the Thermite and that instantly ignites them. Right there, you just saw it where I can't hit any of the Grim with the barricade. But then I have Shiver Strike on, and Shiver Strike absolutely wipes them out. I don't know what I'm doing right here. I'm trying to set up with the Thermite. I don't know why I thought the Thermite would hit if Khepri's didn't. I wish they added a little bit more height to those things, but I know it's a PvP thing as well. It's whatever. But I mean, so far, it's performing extremely well. Maybe you could switch the linear to a bait and switch Cataclysmic or something. I have one. I don't know why I didn't use it here, but yeah, I just wanted to use like one of the new weapons. But this build's really good. This build is insanely strong at what it does. And if you want, you can switch to a void weapon right now with all the void things giving like controlled or like all the controlled demolition, the volatile rounds and stuff. And then along with that, that's all giving you class ability energy. So I can see that new bow that they're introducing in Act 2 becoming really strong from this. And oh my god, it's so insanely strong. This build is ridiculous. I've been having so much fun with it. Again, I've been using it everywhere. I've been using it Expert Nether. I haven't tried it in a Grandmaster yet. I've tried it a little bit in a Grandmaster, but it did pretty good there too. I didn't run it too much though, because it was like an accidental run where I jumped in with this build, and I was using like just like Monarch and Bolt Charge. And again, this build is not gonna be the boss killer. I'm just letting you know this now. This isn't. You're not gonna go in there insta kill a boss. That's what the point of the Bolt Charge build is for. And again, I have a specific Bolt Charge build that is wiping everything, and I don't have to just run Curious or Rocket Chest Piece. I can run my own, like, I honestly, I use Point Contact Cannon Brace on those, but this build, super fun. The ad clear is insane. I don't use Transcendence as much, because that is one thing I wish they would fix, man, is while you're Transcendent, your class ability doesn't really do anything unless you're like specifically like heavy building into it. Which does work, because if you saw on my arms, I have both my grenade and my melee giving me back chunks of class ability energy. And that's one thing I will admit, is while you're running Consecration with that, your class ability just flies back. And again, I've tried a bunch of different combinations. I even tried Diamond Lance and Consecration. Or no, I think I did Consecration and Bane Leap. One of my viewers, Vega, recommended it to me, so thank you. Also, I don't know if you also saw in the intro, but again, this is streamed on Twitch and on TikTok, and it's a whole bunch of fun over there if you guys want to pull up. But yeah, man, so far the build is doing amazing. And again, this is Expert Nether, so like this isn't like exactly a super easy activity, but I mean, it's shredding. Like I'm having like no trouble with the ads. There's so much like ad clear going on. And again, ad clear is pretty easy to achieve nowadays, but it's so cool when you can achieve it in such a unique way that doesn't feel like, oh, I'm really trying to make this work. I'm just putting down the barricade and everything is either catching on fire, shattering. Like, there's very few things stopping this build from being good. And all you do is you have the Twilight Arsenal and you have Thunder Crash if you don't switch to that. And you have two different forms of boss damage like that. So it's like, I don't know what to tell people. Like, it's really good. People are sleeping on Khepri's Horn in both the Spirit of the Horn form and the Spirit, or the regular Khepri's Horn. Both of those builds are absolutely insane. And again, there are a bunch of different forms of Khepri's Horn that we could run here. This is the Frost Horn build. I'm using this with Spirit of Hoarfrost and Spirit of the Horn. I can see Spirit of Abeyant and Spirit of the Horn being good. I can see Inmost Light Spirit of the Horn being good. I honestly need to check what else can roll in the column besides Khepri's, just to see where it can go with it. Because I don't think you can get Spirit of the Bear and Spirit of the Horn, but if you can, I can imagine that being pretty interesting. You would be able to have a use for your grenade when you, like, obviously aren't able to use it. Or, like, when you're not able to use your barricade, you usually need a block. But I can also see something, like, or of course, Consecration is going crazy, so, like, Inmost Light is probably helping so much with that ability regen. But again, a big reason I think this build is super strong is because of that instant stasis shatter. It does so much damage. And it's boosting how much damage my Shiver Strike is doing. I think the only thing I really fumbled on was the Thermite grenade, but the Titan doesn't have that many good grenades. And again, one other horrible thing is that when Khepri's is going, you can't hit suspended targets. Suspended targets float way too high for your Khepri's to hit, which is awful. I don't know what they did with it. I'm pretty sure Khepri's used to hit suspended targets and it just doesn't. And it sucks because that's obviously like one of the combos they want you to run. You could run Drangers, Hoarfrost, and Khepri's, but it doesn't work. Because Drangers lifts everything too high before Khepri's actually hits them. Or at least if you want to run like just other suspending means and then throw Khepri's out, it doesn't work. I could honestly test it to see if like it does Scorch then suspend, because if it does that, then I'm pretty sure the Sunspot reaches high enough to hit them. But okay, enough of me yapping. Thank you all for tuning in, man. You all are absolutely amazing. I'm gonna let the rest of this gameplay fly. It's just me finishing up the boss. You'll see right here, just slamming diamond lances right here, barricade. That's probably one of the better showcases of it, just absolutely wiping there. And then I get the sunspot, free resto. But yeah, either way, guys, you'll have a blessed one. Peace.